welcome to Google Tutorials. And today we're going to be looking at logging into Google properly. Now, I know this sounds kind of crazy, but it's actually a little bit tricky to log into Google properly. It's fairly easy to mess up, so we're going to take a deep look at that. So first, I'm sure you've all seen this before. This is the dreaded "you need permission." So what happens is someone in Chinook shares a document with you and you click on it and you get this pop-up that says you don't have permission to view it. And probably what has happened is this has been shared with only people in Chinook, so that because it's a sensitive document or for whatever reason we want to keep control of who sees it, but you are actually logged in with a personal Gmail account. So this is the first thing to look at. If you get this pop-up, don't immediately request access, because chances are you actually are logged in with the wrong account. And all that happens when you request access is the person gets an email saying, hey, please grant this person access, and they don't want to grant you access if you've been logged in with a personal email account or personal Gmail account, because it's only supposed to be for Chinook people. So take a look at that first. But what we're going to do today is we're going to show you how to finally beat this and get rid of it, hopefully forever. So a little background first. When you log into a Google account, you can actually log into multiple Google accounts, especially if you're on a Windows device. Now, if you're on a mobile device or a Chromebook or some device like that, you can very easily switch between accounts, but that's not the case on a Windows device, because Windows devices are just a little bit more complex. So on a Windows device, you can actually log into Chrome itself, the actual software, and you can also log into the Chrome browser. Now you may be thinking, what? That's the same thing. And you're right, it is the same thing, but it's very subtly different. So today I'm going to be taking you through how all of this can be fixed. Now, one of the things is when you first log into a Windows computer and you load up Chrome for the very first time on that device, the first account you sign in to will be the default account. And Google and Windows and Chrome will hang on to this account more than the other accounts. It's sort of like a dog with a bone that just will not let go of that bone. It just hangs on. It will not let go of that. Or it's sort of like Raptors fans who will not let go of the fact that LeBron James is going to beat them every season. Or how Toronto Maple Leafs fans will not let go of the fact that they haven't won a cup for a very, very long time. They think they might win again very soon. Or Justin Bieber, who still wants to be treated with respect. At any rate, we're going to teach you how to get rid of all of those extra logins today and how to get down to the right login you need. So let's get started. So I have a Windows computer here that I've specifically set up so it has multiple accounts on it. And I specifically set it up, like most people, so that I logged in the first time with my personal Gmail account. Because if we go back a few years in Chinook, when you first logged into your Chinook computer, whether it was a teacher laptop or a desktop computer, the first time you open up Chrome, it would have said, hey, do you want to log in? And you didn't have a Chinook Google account then, so you logged in with your personal account. So we'll see here, if I look over here in the top corner, this is where the accounts are shown. And so I can see here that I'm logged in with rgeiger81 at ChinookSD.ca, my Chinook Google account. Well, if I click up there, I can also see that I have other accounts. So here I am logged in with that one, and here is my personal Gmail account, and here is my test account. But notice, my Gmail account is the default. Why? Because it was the first one I logged into. But now, look, I am logged in, I'm selected. I can switch between these things. I can switch to my student account. I can switch to my personal Gmail account. I can switch between them. Easy, right? So now I am logged in with my Chinook Google account. Great, but look what happens. When I now open up Google Drive, I am logged in with my personal Gmail account. How did that happen? Over here, I'm logged in with my Chinook Google account, and over here, I'm logged in with my personal Gmail account. How is that even possible? Well, it's because my personal Gmail account is the default account, that pernicious default account. So how do we get rid of that? Well, that default account lives in Chrome settings. So if I go up here, the three dots in the corner, right up there, click on the three dots, go to settings, I see where I'm signed in as the default account. So in this case, it's my Gmail account. If you're signed in with your Gmail account, your personal Gmail account in Chrome, you want to sign out of there. If you don't, you will go insane trying to fix this. So sign out. So I'm going to sign out of that account and click sign out. Okay, now it just says default profile, no problem. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to Google. I can go to google.com, I can go to google.ca, so just go to Google. So I get this thing. Notice, see what happened there? Popped up my personal Gmail account. Oh, a pernicious default account. I'm going to go in here, and even though I removed it from Chrome, it's still there because it's my default account. I'm going to sign out. Okay, so I'm going to click sign out, and it will sign me out of everything. Wonderful. I'll get this little error because I was signed in with a Chinook account. No problem. I'm going to go back to Google, and now I can sign in. Awesome. I'm going to click sign in, and now I have 3 accounts to sign in as. So what I'm going to do is, before I do this, I've signed out of everything. I'm now going to go into my settings. So again, the 3 dots, settings. I'm going to sign into Chrome. I don't want to sign in as Rob Geiger 65. I want to sign as R Geiger 81 at ChinookSD.ca, my Chinook account. And I will unlock this. All right, I'm going to switch to Rob. And so now, if I go back to my settings, go into settings, I am now signed in with my Chinook Google account. Awesome, that's what I want. When I go to Google and I click up here, I have no other accounts, which is what I want. It's nice and clean. Now I could add an account here, right? I could click on there and I could add an account if I wanted to. But I'm going to actually avoid that, and I'm going to instead give you another bit of advice at the end of this. But the great thing is, now when I load up my Google Drive, I now have my Chinook account automatically. I don't have to worry about that. So now if I go in and I was going to load up any Google link, if someone shares something with me, it's always going to work because I'm signed in with my Chinook Google account. Right. So here's a little bit of advice. I'm just going to close this guy down here, which is still running. So I'm still actually running back here with all this other stuff, but it actually changed to here. So the next thing I want to do is I want to sign in with a personal account. Sometimes you want to sign in with a personal account. No problem. What I'm going to do, instead of just adding an account here, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to go into new incognito window. So new incognito window, and now I can go to Google and it will ask me to sign in again. So what I have is, when I'm using an incognito tab, I actually have 2 different accounts signed in at once. I have, in this case, incognito nothing, and then I have my Chinook Google account. If you use an incognito tab, the great thing about it is that when you close the tab, I can do anything I want. When I close the tab, everything is white from that computer. So incognito tab is really great when you're using a personal computer, whether it's maybe in a library or in a hotel room somewhere. When you close the incognito tab, everything's wiped out. It doesn't keep track of your data. The other thing where it's place where it's useful is when you're using a Chinook device and you want to keep your personal life and your Chinook or work life separate. If you log in with an incognito tab when you log into your personal account, then you will never have them collide and they won't get mixed up. So just a little bit of advice. It certainly works well if you follow that strict kind of rule of only logging in through an incognito tab when you're using your personal account. So that's it. I hope this was useful to you. I know it was a little bit confusing. I know that it's kind of a little bit of a mess, but hopefully that will help you. Thanks. And I should mention too that if you want to follow me on YouTube just by hitting the subscribe, then whenever I publish a YouTube video, you're going to see it right away. So you might want to do that. Thanks and have a great day.